Chapter 191, 191, Chapter 191. Destroy the world, Twilight sets, shocking the world. Brother Twilight, haven't you always wanted to see me? What, now that you see me, you want to run away? Su Yang said with a smile. His hands did not stop at all. With the support of the spatial dimension laws, he only stuck to the evil god of Twilight and did not let him escape his sight. At the same time, the power of the space law shook and disrupted the surrounding space, preventing the Twilight Evil God from using its teleportation ability to escape. Not only that, but the power of the space law had also invaded the space around the Twilight Evil God, keeping a close eye on it. He could ensure that once the Twilight Evil God had the ability to break through the chaotic space and escape, he could quickly catch up. The spatial laws, sensing the chaotic space around them, the Twilight Evil God muttered in shock. He did not expect that Heavenly Sun would actually touch the power of the law of space. This made it difficult for him to escape. Damn it! Heavenly Sun, you forced me to do this. The Twilight Evil God didn't seem to have fallen just like that. After realizing that he couldn't escape, he was very decisive. A terrifying divine might radiated from his body. At the same time, the entire Twilight Zone was shaking. The power of a world gathered towards the Twilight Evil God. Su Yang waved Heart Slayer and slashed at the Twilight Evil God. Several saber rays that could destroy everything flew towards the Twilight Evil God. However, with the support of the power of a world, the eternal law of the evil god of Twilight continued to be maintained on his divine body. It offset Su Yang's saber light. World power augmentation. It's similar to the control power of the world's origin given to me by the blue star. However, the Twilight Evil God's control over the Twilight realm is even stronger. It's close to 100%. After sensing that the saber light was blocked by the eternal law, Su Yang put away his saber and temporarily stopped attacking. At the same time, after a brief observation, he understood the current state of the Twilight Evil God. The blessing of the world's power. Humph! Su Yang snorted coldly. The aura of destruction enveloped his entire body. His body instantly expanded and became bigger. If not, he would appear in the Twilight Zone in the form of a destruction titan. Heart Slayer followed Su Yang's transformation into the Temple of Destruction and turned into a 100-meter-long machete. At the same time, he wore the title of Heaven Realm, God of Destruction. Instantly, an aura that could destroy everything emanated from his Destruction Titan body. Destruction Titan, Undead Tyrant. No, you're the Undead Tyrant in disguise. Heavenly Sun is actually an undead tyrant. Damn it! The Twilight Evil God looked at the Destruction Titan and roared in fear. Not long ago, because of the undead tyrant in the undead world, he had paid attention to the Destruction Titan. He did not expect that Heavenly Sun would become a Destruction Titan in front of him. He thought of the abyssal demon man that Heavenly Sun had disguised perfectly. In an instant, the Twilight Evil God thought of many things, especially when he carefully looked at the Heavenly Sun in the form of the Destruction Titan. A shining honorific name appeared in his mind. Destruction God, Heavenly Sun. This was the honorific title of Heaven Realm. In an instant, the Twilight Evil God understood everything. Roar! In his Destruction Titan form, Su Yang roared. Then he waved Heart Slayer, and the destructive power instantly wrapped around the blade. A slashy! A slashy! The sky of the Twilight Zone was instantly torn apart, and time and space were shattered. No! The Twilight Evil God, who had been prepared to block the Heavenly Sun's attack, did not expect the Heavenly Sun to give up on attacking him and instead launch a random attack. However, he soon realized that Heavenly Sun was going to destroy the Twilight Zone. Once the Twilight Zone was destroyed, he would no longer have the support of the world's power. Thinking of this, the Twilight Evil God cried out in horror. The divine power on its divine body shook, and the divinity drove the power of the law to attack Su Yang. Su Yang directly slashed with his saber and destroyed the attack of the Twilight Evil God. Are you in a hurry to die? Then let's give up our eternal resistance, Su Yang said softly. However, in his destruction Titan form, his voice instantly turned into a thunderous rumble. He didn't care about the Twilight Evil God anymore. Su Yang waved his Heart Slayer again. 1 slash, 2 slashes. It had the form of the Destruction Titan, the laws of destruction, and the title of the God of Destruction. Soon, the Twilight Realm collapsed and was destroyed under Su Yang's attack. World Devour activated. During the collapse of the Twilight Zone, the scattered world origin power was condensed into an origin core. At this moment, after destroying the Twilight Zone, Su Yang turned around and charged at the Twilight Evil God. The Twilight Evil God was on the verge of collapse, but it continued to resist. However, in front of Su Yang, the Twilight Evil God's resistance was futile. A slash after a slash. It constantly wore down the power of the eternal law, consuming the divine power of the evil god of Twilight. The Twilight Evil God wanted to struggle and escape. They all failed. Very quickly, when the sense of his eternal law power was exhausted, and more than half of his divine power was consumed, it was as if she had suddenly given up struggling. Su Yang slashed down with his saber and directly shattered his huge divine body. At the same time, the nomological power integrated with the Void Slayer characteristic invaded his consciousness and soul, wanting to kill him completely. At this moment, the evil god of Twilight, who was about to completely fall, took advantage of the gap between Su Yang's divine body and his divine body. He suddenly let out a strange smile and looked around. As the Twilight Zone collapsed and was destroyed, the starry sky that was revealed struggled. With the last bit of strength, it turned into a final cry of despair. He wanted to expose everything that had happened here to the countless existences in heaven. Heavenly Sun is here. He is Tyrant. He can kill a true god at the demigod level. He's not restricted to the blue planet. We can't let him grow any further, otherwise all of you will die. Damn it! Su Yang's eyes lit up. He did not expect the Twilight Evil God to disgust him even though it was about to die. However, if he killed the Twilight Evil God, he would also break through to the level of an Undying God. With a god's body that had a level of more than 10, he might obtain the strength to resist a godly king. Therefore, Su Yang did not care about the other identities being exposed. However, he was disgusted by the dying Twilight Evil God in the end, which still made him feel a little awkward. At this moment, in the heaven realm, as long as one's strength reached a certain level, they would be able to sense the desperate cry of the Twilight Evil God before its death. Heavenly Sun, a tyrant, a demigod killed a true god. The evil god of Twilight has fallen. In an instant, the existence that heard the Twilight Evil God's desperate cry was slightly stunned and shocked. The next moment, they cast their gaze in the direction of the Twilight Zone. Chapter 192, 192, Chapter 192, Evil Eye District's Tribulation. 192, Chapter 192, Evil Eye District's Tribulation. At this moment, in heaven, all the worlds were boiling. The eyes of countless powerful beings shone with brilliant divine light as they crossed the silent starry sky and looked in the direction of the collapsing twilight zone. At the same time, in the undead world, Evil Eye District, for some reason, the Evil Eye ruler, who had been anxious from the beginning, heard the desperate cry of the Twilight Evil God from beyond the world. He was stunned at first, then he was shocked. Heavenly Son was actually Tyrant. How could Heavenly Son be Tyrant? This was impossible. The Evil Eye ruler's first reaction was disbelief. This was because, before this, he had investigated the Tyrant in detail. Tyrant's voice belonged to the Skeleton King of the Skeleton branch of the undead race. He was a natural king among the skeleton race. There was a possibility that 1 in tens of millions would be born. Therefore, the Tyrant's display of monstrous talent and strength was very normal in the Evil Eye ruler's eyes. Moreover, he had specially requested a Lord of the Undead, who was proficient in budget speculation, to investigate the Tyrant's information. He was very sure that Tyrant was the Skeleton King of the skeleton race, a branch of the undead race. This was already publicly acknowledged information in the undead world. Now he was told that Tyrant was not the Skeleton King of the undead race at all, but Heavenly Son in disguise. Evil Eye ruler couldn't accept this. In his momentary daze, the Evil Eye ruler had temporarily ignored the anxiety that had surfaced in his heart, as well as the calamity that was approaching him. He quickly raised his scarlet eyes and looked across the sky, through the silent starry sky, at the collapsing twilight zone. In an instant, he saw the destruction titans surrounded by an incomparably terrifying destructive aura. At the same time, in his mind, the title of the Titan of Destruction appeared: Destruction God, Heavenly Son. Destruction Titan. Tyrant, it's really Heavenly Son in disguise. Evil Eye ruler murmured, his eyes filled with shock. He would never mistake this Destruction Titan for the one that Tyrant had transformed into. And now it was indeed Heavenly Son's honorific title. Even if the Evil Eye ruler couldn't believe it, he could only believe it. At the same time, after the shock, his eyes revealed a greedy expression. This was because Heavenly Son had actually walked out of the blue planet safety zone that was currently protected by the rules. This was equivalent to exposing himself to the attention of the gods. However, from the desperate cries of the evil god of Twilight just now, it could be seen that the Heavenly Son had grown to the point where it could resist, and even kill a true god without them knowing. However, they were godly monarchs. In their eyes, true gods could be easily killed. No matter how strong and powerful Heavenly Son was, killing a true god with the strength of a demigod should be his limit. The Evil Eye ruler rose from his throne. His divine body flickered, and the space in front of him was torn apart. A spatial rift that led to the vicinity of the Twilight world appeared. This time, there are no strangers obstructing you. Let's see how you escape. The Evil Eye ruler's eyes gleamed with excitement as he prepared to cross the spatial rift and descend near the Twilight Zone. At this moment, in the Evil Eye district of the world of the dead, the sky changed color. The blood-red sky spread from Evil Eye district to the rest of the undead world. At the same time, a bolt of lightning appeared in the air. It was a dark bolt of lightning that could wipe out everything in the world. It appeared above the evil eye ruler's temple. What's going on? The evil eye ruler, who was half a god, felt the sudden change and didn't know what to do. However, at this time, he happened to follow the inertia of the space crack and entered the space crack. The evil eye ruler appeared near the collapsing twilight zone. Boom! At the same time, the evil eye district that had just been engulfed by the heavenly change suddenly exploded with a thunderous boom. Then the black lightning crossed the void and followed the evil eye ruler to the collapsing twilight zone. However, the sky in the evil eye dominator's area had been dyed red, and it hadn't returned. Facing the sudden change, all the undead in Evil Eye's district felt as if a disaster was about to befall them. Boom! Another thunderous roar shook the starry sky. Evil Eye ruler, who had just stepped through the spatial rift and landed near the Twilight world, looked around at the pitch-black lightning that was heading toward him, and a rare look of fear appeared on his face. He could feel the power of the dark lightning that was bound to wipe out everything in the world. Even god-kings and rulers were unable to stop the black lightning from destroying them. This is a great calamity that will wipe out everything. Why did I suffer such a great calamity? Could it be that I have to suffer such a great calamity because I want to make a move against Heavenly Sun? This is impossible. Feeling the pitch-black lightning engulfing him, the evil eye ruler muttered to himself in a trembling voice. At this moment, in the myriad worlds of heaven, the other godly monarchs and rulers who heard the desperate cries of the Twilight Evil God looked in the direction of the collapsing Twilight realm. After confirming Heavenly Sun's identity, they wanted to descend as well. However, now that he saw the evil eye ruler, who had arrived a step ahead of them, he was in a terrible state. In an instant, these godly monarchs and rulers retracted their thoughts of approaching the Twilight world. They planned to observe the situation first. A few godly kings and rulers who were about to step over hurriedly retracted their bodies. He erased all traces and returned to his original world. However, his gaze was fixed in the direction of the dusk world. What's with Evil Eye? This pitch-black tribulation lightning has the power to obliterate everything. This is the law of heaven. Even if we are godly monarchs and rulers, if we suffer such an attack, we will be crippled even if we don't die. Why did you attack Heavenly Sun and suffer such a great calamity? Did Heavenly Sun obtain some heaven-defying situation? I don't know. Heavenly Sun is too strange. Fortunately, the evil eye was there to check the situation first. Let's wait and see. In the myriad worlds of heaven, the godly monarchs and rulers who were watching the situation in the Twilight world were all confused. Some god-kings and rulers, like the evil eye ruler, believed that if they attacked the sky sun, they would be wiped out by the laws. Chapter 193, Chapter 193, Evil Eye District's Tribulation, Su Yang's Tribulation. The gods are terrified. 193, Chapter 193, Evil Eye District's Tribulation, Su Yang's Tribulation. The gods are terrified. Evil Eye rulers. Is this what it means to break through the 10 major tribulations? It's indeed very terrifying. Su Yang didn't expect the Evil Eye ruler, who had been transferred to a substitute, to come directly after hearing the desperate cry of the Twilight Evil God before its death. Just a moment ago, after the evil god of Twilight had completely fallen, his advancement mission was also completed. With the completion of the advancement mission to the level of an immortal god, Su Yang's divine body which was condensed by existence with a level of more than 10, would also undergo a transformation and advance into a true divine body. It just so happened that he had triggered the 10 major tribulations. However, he had a substitute dole in advance, which helped him pass on the disaster. Therefore, the 10 major tribulations that were about to befall Su Yang were transferred to Evil Eye Ruler. And that was why there was this scene. Su Yang was shocked when he felt the pitch-black lightning enveloping the Evil Eye Ruler. He could also feel the power that could wipe out everything from the pitch-black lightning. Can we really cross this? Hundreds of thousands of years. How did that legendary existence survive this calamity? Could it be that he is also like me? Su Yang asked himself. Even if it was him, it would be extremely difficult for him to successfully overcome such a great tribulation. There was no chance of survival. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, there might have been an unknown existence that survived such a great tribulation. This made him very puzzled. However, none of this could be investigated, so Su Yang did not think too much about it. He reached out and grabbed the Origin's core that had been formed by the world-devouring ability. Then he retreated from his destruction Titan form and moved away from the Evil Eye Ruler. At the same time, the space around him changed. A hidden space teleportation array appeared. If anything happened, he would immediately return to the blue planet. The reason why he didn't return to planet Blue now was because Su Yang himself was very curious about whether Evil Eye Ruler could survive his 10 major tribulations. At this moment, it wasn't just Su Yang. Many existences in heaven were looking in the direction of Evil Eye Ruler. Evil Eye Ruler instantly became famous throughout the entire heavenly realm. Boom! Thunder rumbled. The pitch-black lightning transformed into the great axe of annihilation, and then into other weapons. All kinds of phenomena of destruction, annihilation, and obliteration appeared in the pitch-black sea of lightning. This was not as simple as a phenomenon. Whether it was the great axe of annihilation or other weapons, they all possessed the power of genuine goods, even though the real thing only had one attack. However, this attack was an existence that could destroy the world. The Evil Eye Ruler struggled to resist the terrifying attack. Damn it, I shouldn't have been so anxious. If I had been half a step later, this great Tao world might not have descended upon me. After the last attack, Evil Eye's body was shattered, and he was filled with regret. Until now, he was still on a mission. He had suffered such a great calamity because he was the first to descend near the Twilight world and wanted to attack Heavenly Sun. Many of the beings watching the Evil Eye Ruler were terrified when they saw the Evil Eye Ruler's miserable state. Fortunately, the Evil Eye Ruler had intervened. Otherwise, one of them would have been in the dark sea of lightning that had wiped out everything. Heavenly Sun is too terrifying. Attacking Heavenly Sun, the consequences are too serious. Why this isn't fair? Many powerful beings were unwilling to accept this, worried about what the Evil Eye Ruler had done, but they didn't dare to doubt it. Even a divine king or ruler can't withstand the 10 major tribulations. Su Yang was also surprised to see the Evil Eye Ruler's miserable state. The power of breaking through the 10 major tribulations was far beyond his imagination. The goddess of luck, you've really helped me a lot. Without the goddess of luck's help, he would not have met Zai Han, the gold-seeking merchant, and he would not have been able to buy the wish-fulfillment treasure chest. He would not have been able to open the substitute doll. Then, for Su Yang, it might be even more difficult for him to pass the 10 calamities. At the same time, It would also take him a lot of time to find props like substitute puppets. Thinking of this, Su Yang secretly remembered the help of luck this time. If there was a chance in the future, he would definitely repay it. At this moment, Evil Eye Ruler couldn't withstand the black lightning, and his body was completely shattered by the lightning. His soul was also hit and turned into ashes. Evil Eye Ruler had fallen in the face of the great tribulation. In the world of the dead, the sky was blood red. As the Evil Eye Ruler fell, blood rained down. The sky was crying. This was because the one who had fallen was the godly king of the undead world. It was not easy for every godly king to be born. Therefore, after such an existence died, there would definitely be a phenomenon. The change in the world of the undead was actually a premonition that the Evil Eye Ruler would fall. And now, after sensing that the Evil Eye Ruler had truly fallen, a rain of blood began to fall from the sky. Godly kings and rulers are actually unable to completely block the 10 major tribulations. With the Evil Eye Ruler's death, the remaining black lightning lost its target and gathered in Su Yang's direction. Looking at the pitch-black lightning that enveloped him, Su Yang was slightly stunned. Then he remembered the information about the stand-in puppet. He knew that the Evil Eye Ruler hadn't suffered the full catastrophe, and the Sacred Zone's catastrophe would return to him. However, with the Evil Eye Ruler to offset most of the calamities, Su Yang was still confident that he could survive the rest. I can't undergo the tribulation here. Looking around, Su Yang thought to himself. Then he turned around and crossed the space transfer formation to return to the blue planet. With Su Yang's return, the pitch-black lightning followed and descended on the blue planet. Did I see wrongly just now? Heavenly Sun also suffered a calamity. Evil Eye didn't suffer because he attacked Heavenly Sun. I remember now, substitute puppets. Heavenly Sun must have used a substitute puppet to shift the disaster onto Evil Eye Ruler. We were wrong. This was originally Heavenly Sun calamity. Could it be that he had broken through the 10 calamities? Heavenly Sun, he actually condensed the body of a god with a cultivation level of over 10. That's impossible, right? How long has it been since Heavenly Sun has grown up? He has already grasped more than 10 levels and even condensed the body of a god with more than 10 levels. However, how do you explain this calamity that obliterates everything? Heavenly Sun was a demigod before. He killed the evil god of Twilight to complete the advancement mission. The tribulation that he would encounter when he advanced from a mortal to an undying god can only be explained by breaking through the 10 major tribulations. If that's the case, once Heavenly Sun survives this calamity and breaks through to the level of an undying god, wouldn't he have the strength to fight against us? It's very possible. What should we do? The calamities and tribulations are still here. We can only pray that the Heavenly Sun won't be able to survive. Many powerful existences in the myriad worlds of Heaven Realm realized that their previous guesses were wrong when they saw the black lightning chasing after the Heavenly Sun. At the same time, the powerful existences who were knowledgeable instantly realized that such a great tribulation was very likely to be Heavenly Sun breaking 10 tribulations. This made many powerful existences in the 10,000 worlds of heaven feel shocked. Then they were terrified. If Heavenly Sun really passed this breakthrough of the 10 major tribulations and advanced with the body of a god whose level had exceeded 10, he would definitely have the strength to resist the godly king. In that case, they shouldn't be thinking about the opportunity to transcend from Heavenly Sun. even if Heavenly Son had the strength to fight against them, once he planned to settle the score. Chapter 194, 194, Chapter 194, Baptism of the Divine Body, Becoming a God. Boom! Thunder rumbled. In an instant, the sky above Blue Planet, Kingdom of Dragon, and Rock City was covered by pitch-black lightning. What's going on? This is definitely not an ordinary weather change. Something seems to have happened. What terrifying lightning! I feel as if I'm going to die just by taking a glance. The people of Rock City were terrified and worried when they saw the pitch-black lightning that suddenly covered the sky. In Rock City, the newly established professional guild quickly responded by gathering all the powerful professionals. At the same time, he also sent a contact sentinel to Su Yang's villa complex to inform him just in case. After a while, the news of the sudden change in the sky in Rock City spread across the world through the professionals' forum. Previously, the Otherworld had all kinds of evil intentions toward Blue Planet, causing the various human countries and factions on Blue Planet to be extremely nervous about any signs of trouble on Blue Planet. Thus, in an instant, the area around Rock City attracted the attention of all parties around the world. That figure, it's that man. Heavenly Son. Soon, many people in the Rock City area noticed a proud figure standing under the pitch-black lightning. In an instant, he recognized that this figure was Heavenly Son. Pitch-black lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. At this moment, under the lightning, a thin but proud voice stood in the void with a long saber in hand, fighting against the black lightning. Such a shocking scene attracted everyone's attention. Instantly, everyone fell silent. At this moment, Su Yang, who was enveloped by the pitch-black lightning, entered a mysterious comprehension. If you want to advance to an undying God with a god's body that has a level of 10, the god's body must undergo the baptism of calamities and tribulations before it can complete the true transformation. The breaking 10 calamities has almost been passed by Evil Eye Ruler. Now, I just need to let the breaking 10 god body accept the baptism of the calamity. In his comprehension, Su Yang understood everything. Previously, after killing the evil god of Twilight and completing the advancement mission, he was still a little puzzled that the advancement reward did not appear in time. Originally, the most important thing was that the transformation of the divine body still needed to go through the baptism of calamities and tribulations before it could be completed. Evil Eye Ruler, when he died, not only did he help me block the calamity, but he also died before the calamity baptized me. Otherwise, if the Evil Eye Ruler really gets through the 10 major tribulations, he'll be able to take the tribulation baptism. Su Yang opened his eyes and thought with emotion. This was also a weakness of the refreshing doll. Although it could transfer disasters to a specific target if the target passed the tribulation, and if there were benefits after the tribulation, the target would also obtain them. It was also because of this that Su Yang sighed. The time of Evil Eye Ruler's death was perfect. He didn't think too much about it. Even the baptism of calamities and tribulations was not so easy to obtain. Su Yang looked at the pitch-black lightning and waited. He sensed the transformation of the divine body in his body. Through the comprehension just now, he understood what to do next. He took a deep breath. Su Yang's eyes flashed with determination. In the next second, he charged into the sea of black lightning. Big shot Heavenly Son, he rushed in directly. This black lightning looked so strange and terrifying. Will Big Shot Heavenly Sun be all right? The people in the Rock City area were shocked when they saw Su Yang rush into the pitch-black sea of lightning. At the same time, some professionals with sharp senses felt the terrifying power contained in the pitch-black lightning and could not help but worry. Yes. At this moment, Su Yang, who had entered the pitch-black lightning, could not help but grunt when he was hit by the pitch-black lightning. Of course, the evil eye ruler was able to block most of the calamities and tribulations. Although the current pitch-black lightning looked terrifying, its power was no longer as strong as before. It had the power to destroy everything. Therefore, with Su Yang's strength, these thunderbolts only made him feel some pain and numbness. However, the pain was quickly replaced by a warm current. In the sea of lightning, Su Yang's divine body, which had yet to completely transform, was absorbing the power of the tribulation and was rapidly transforming. Su Yang could clearly feel that his original mortal body was being completely formed and covered by the transformed divine body. At the same time, the basic attributes of his mortal body were also undergoing the transformation and baptism of becoming an undying god. It was an indescribable feeling. The body of a god and his basic attributes would fuse with each other during the transformation and become the firm cornerstone of Su Yang's immortal life. Destroy. Time, space. Death eternal foresee. Soon as his divine body and basic attributes transformed, Su Yang shed his mortal body and became an immortal god. At this moment, laws appeared on the body of the god, and pitch-black lightning struck. The mysterious power of the calamities and tribulations was absorbed by the power of laws on his god body. However, very quickly, these emerging laws converged into his divine body. Advancement mission completed. Level unlocked. LV 101 LV 130. Mission reward. 1 transformation of all attributes plus 40 divinity points plus 4 chaos points. At this time, after Su Yang's transformation was completed, and he truly became an immortal god, the information of the completion of the advancement mission had just appeared. At the same time, a 7-colored rainbow crossed the pitch-black lightning and appeared in the vision of all living beings on Blue Planet. The pitch-black lightning gradually dissipated. On Blue Planet, the sky of the entire world and various regions turned blue at the same time. Even the darkness of the other half of the sphere instantly became bright. Then rain fell from the sky. A light voice slowly sounded in Blue Planet. Heaven and earth celebrated. The blurry original consciousness of Blue Planet felt that the first immortal god had been born in the world, especially when this immortal god was her good friend. She was extremely excited. For her, the safety of Blue Planet had increased by another level. The misfortune of the world being destroyed would also be far away from him. Therefore, the original celebration of heaven and earth was increased by 100 or 1,000 times. The scene of the birth of a godly king was used to celebrate. Chapter 195, 195, Chapter 195. Congratulations, eternal treasure chest. This, oh my God, getting drenched in the rain can actually give you experience points. Not only does it increase exp, but it also increases basic attributes. This is divine rain. My water skill level is actually growing rapidly under this god's will. The humans on the Blue Planet were extremely excited by the rain from the sky. At this moment, on the Blue Planet, humans, animals, even monsters, and all other living beings, a majestic figure appeared in their minds and hearts. At this moment, Heavenly Son's figure appeared in everyone's hearts. Heavenly Son. Big shot, Heavenly Son. It's him. God, ha ha ha. Our blue planet also has a god. At the same time, all living beings on the blue planet instantly understood that Heavenly Son had become an immortal god. This would be the first and most powerful undying god on the blue planet. Not only that, when Su Yang completed his transformation and advanced to an undying god, in the 660,000 years of heaven, he was the first person to transcend the 10 annihilation calamity and advance to an undying god with a god's body that exceeded 10. Your deeds will be announced in heaven. You can choose your real name, anonymous or title announcement. 660,000 years ago, there should have been an existence who broke through 10. It seems that the rumors that Ling said were true. However, 660,000 years is a long time. Su Yang whispered softly. A few hundred years was a very long time for an immortal god, but 660,000 years was also a very long time. Although gods were immortal, they would also perish. According to Su Yang's understanding, the gods had the tribulation of nirvana. The calamity of nirvana was similar to the silence of the mind. Every tens of thousands of years, they would face it. Gods who were not strong enough, or whose willpower was not firm, could easily fall into eternal oblivion in the calamity of oblivion. This was also a way for the undying gods to die. Even powerful true bodies and god-kings would face the corresponding calamity of nirvana. Therefore, although the immortal gods seemed to be eternal, they were not truly eternal. Only by transcending and attaining eternity could one be independent of calamities and tribulations, undying and eternal. Transcend eternity. Soon. Su Yang's eyes flickered as his thoughts raced. He did not choose to hide his title in the face of the announcement that was about to be announced to the world of heaven. On the one hand, it was because the evil eye ruler's presence had long since been known by many powerful beings in the various worlds of heaven. Su Yang knew that some powerful existences must have guessed it. On the other hand, although he had just become an undying god, he had broken through to the 10-god level. He already had the strength to fight against the god, king, and Tiki. Therefore, there was no need to hide and be careful. Heaven announcement. Immortal God, Heavenly Son, has passed the tribulation of breaking through the 10 obliteration and has become an immortal God with the body of breaking through the 10 gods. In the 660,000 years of heaven, he was the first to become an immortal god with a divine body that exceeded 10 levels. Reward for your fire suppression promotion. Level up by 10, chaos points plus 100, eternal treasure chest plus 1. Following that, the heaven realm's announcement sounded. Many powerful existences in the myriad worlds of the heaven realm were shocked. In the end, he still couldn't stop Heavenly Son, allowing him to become a god. Moreover, he's condensing the body of a god in a supreme manner. All the living beings whispered, and a heavy atmosphere pervaded their hearts. The fall of the Twilight Evil God and the fate of the evil eye ruler had forced them to pay more attention to Heavenly Son. After all, Blue Planet was a new district. Heavenly Son was just a slightly bigger ant. Originally, he thought that although Heavenly Son had potential, he was already sealed on the Blue Planet, and his talent was restricted. Therefore, before this, they did not really take Heavenly Son to heart. However, he did not expect. In the wizarding world, the Wizard Ancestor frowned and muttered to himself. This is troublesome. Heavenly Sun actually became a god and killed the evil god of twilight. Although the evil god of dusk isn't considered a top existence in terms of combat strength and is only an ordinary true god, he is a true god powerhouse. Killing him across the border is enough to prove how powerful the second sun is. I'm afraid his combat strength is far more than that. Now, he's probably comparable to a top-notch true body or even a godly king. Moreover, the tyrant of the undead race is actually him. Perhaps not long ago, the Dharma king who caused the disaster of our sorcerer tribe, he couldn't escape from being related to him. This fellow has already become a huge threat. If we don't get rid of him now, our Magus race will definitely be punished in the future. The Magus patriarch sat cross-legged in the void, a hint of anxiety on his face. World of Light. A complicated look appeared on the chief sovereign of Light's face as he spoke to the void. Pass down the order to cancel the bounty on Heavenly Sun. Send an env to give him a heavy gift to express our goodwill. Also, secretly contact the other powers and plan to kill Heavenly Sun. If we don't get rid of him soon, I'm afraid he will be the ruler of heaven in the future. At this moment, a respectful voice sounded from the void. Yes, Lord Ruler. After the voice disappeared, a hint of worry appeared on the chief sovereign of Light's face. Although the world of Light has put a bounty on his head, we have never made a move against Heavenly Sun. Even if he doesn't accept our goodwill, he won't fall out with us. Although I don't know how he grew to this extent, he definitely hasn't been to the world of Light. I don't even know about the bounty. In the glorious palace of the angel clan. Jai Lion, you have to speed up. This demon has finally become a god. You've already failed once in front of him. I won't allow you to fail again this time. After all, you're the angel with the highest aptitude in the last 2 years. After experiencing the life and death tribulation, you are also close to advancing to the mythical stage. A holy figure wrapped in boundless light, he was the God Lord of the angel race. Yes, God Lord. I will definitely not let down the cultivation of the entire clan. Jai Lion revealed a bitter smile, but he still replied respectfully. Initially, he thought that after experiencing that life and death crisis, the angel race had poured all their resources into helping him get very close to the mythical advancement. He had a chance to catch up to Heavenly Sun. However, the announcement of the 10-level heavenly planes completely woke him up from his dream. You're not allowed to break through to become a god until you reach the 10th level. The God Lord's voice sounded again. Yes, sir. Jai Lion's face was filled with despair. He didn't dare to disobey the God Lord's orders. It was extremely difficult to break through the 10 major tribulations. Otherwise, it would not be that no one had broken through in the past 660,000 years. Moreover, he had not even advanced to the mythical stage. Being close to mythical advancement and mythical advancement were two completely different concepts. Chapter 196, 196, Chapter 196. The Body of a God, the Supreme Title. In the Immortal Spirit Tribe, a white crane was flying in the air, and smoke was swirling around the mountain peak. Immortal Spirit Ancestor sat in front of the chessboard, playing black and white chess. As if he had sensed something, he stroked his beard, and a hint of joy flashed in his eyes. It seems that this old man has foresight. No one has been able to overcome the 10 major tribulations in the past 660,000 years. The rise of the Heavenly Sun is destined to be unstoppable. Ling, this is a great opportunity that belongs to you and the Immortal Spirit Tribe. At this moment, the highest official of the Kingdom of Dragons, The few helmsmen sat at the round table, with faint smiles on their faces. The kingdom of Dragon has heavenly sun. It's really the dragon's great fortune. There's been no news from heavenly sun during this period of time. I'm so worried. But I didn't expect that, after a period of silence, he would directly become a god. I wonder how heavenly sun managed to break through to the divine realm under the heavy seals. What's the 10 annihilation tribulation? Why haven't I heard of it before? I didn't expect that even under the blockade of so many races, we couldn't stop Big Boss Heavenly Sun. To be able to cause a heaven announcement, the tribulation of breaking through the 10 obliteration must be extraordinary. Isn't this nonsense? Didn't you see what the heaven's announcement said? In 660,000 years, the first existence to condense a god's body with a cohesion of more than 10 levels. But what is the level? Can anyone explain? Maybe only the legendary realm can come into contact with it. After all, our blue planet's level rankings are all in the golden stage. After the announcement, many creatures on the blue planet appeared on the forum and cheered. Especially the professionals of the Kingdom of the Dragon, they felt extremely proud. Heavenly Sun is from the Kingdom of Dragons. The Kingdom of the Dragon is mighty. On the blue planet, Su Yang had already returned to the villa. As for the situation outside, Su Yang did not even need to think about it. It must have caused a sensation in the myriad worlds of heaven. You have condensed the body of a god by breaking through 10 levels and becoming an immortal god. Heaven celebrates and grants you the supreme title, Supreme. Supreme. Another supreme title. Su Yang was in a good mood. To be able to be given a supreme title, it must be extraordinary. Supreme. Type supreme title. Requirements. Advanced mythical level obtained if your level exceeds 10. Effect, you are the favorite of heaven. All attacks received will be reduced by 30%. All attacks received will be reduced by 30%. This is simply a god-tier title. This title is truly supreme. Su Yang whispered softly, with a hint of surprise in his eyes. This title was too powerful. It could reduce 30% of the damage and greatly increase his combat strength. However, after thinking about it carefully, a trace of caution flashed in Su Yang's eyes. Some races definitely have hidden experts that surpass god kings. There might even be experts at the half-step eternal realm. We can't be careless, or else it's easy to fail. Su Yang was on guard. Even if he had already advanced to the immortal god realm, he was not invincible. Unless one day he could transcend. At the same time, Su Yang felt a part of the threads of fate on his body loosen. His gaze was serious. It seemed that he could try to break free. However, he had a feeling that if he wanted to break independent from these threads of fate, he would definitely attract a great calamity. Therefore, Su Yang temporarily dismissed this idea. Congratulations, Master. You have advanced to an immortal god and condensed the body of a god. Heartslayer transformed into a human form with a smile on his face as he congratulated Su Yang. Meow. Little Zai also came to Su Yang's feet and kept rubbing against him. It and Su Yang were connected, and Su Yang could feel its blessing. Back then, on the ranking battlefield, I knew that Master would have extraordinary achievements in the future. I didn't expect Master to become an undying god so quickly. Skeletal mage Zhu Ting was all smiles. She was secretly shocked. She did not expect Heavenly Sun to be able to reach this stage. Not long ago, he was still fighting with the geniuses of the younger generation. Now, even some of the older generation's powerhouses had been surpassed by him. Even the Twilight Evil God had fallen under his blade. It seemed that she was really lucky to have submitted back then. It was an honor to be the servant of such a being. A divine body that exceeds 10 is not allowed by the laws of the heaven. I didn't expect Master to actually succeed. That ruthless man from hundreds of thousands of years ago is probably nothing more than this. Ling secretly clenched her fists before relaxing them. She was also considered a genius in the immortal spirit world, but in front of Su Yang, she seemed to be nothing. She grew up in the immortal spirit world and had abundant cultivation resources. The first time he was assigned a mission to participate in the ranking battle, he suffered a heavy blow. The team she led was slaughtered by the abyssal demons. She had to use all her strength to escape. This was also the first time she had tasted failure. Coincidentally, she met Su Yang. She was unwilling to submit to Su Yang, but she had not recovered from her serious injuries and had to lower her head. Su Yang, who was born on the blue planet, had no power to rely on. The conditions they were in were far worse than the others. However, it was such a person who had killed Tai Yuan with a single slash. Tai Yuan resurrected 10 times, so he would be able to slash 10 times. Now Su Yang had even broken through 10 to condense the body of a god. She had to admire him. Su Yang enjoyed the praise around him. However, the most important thing now was the treasure chest that he had just obtained. Su Yang wiped his hands and then continued to use Heart Slayer. Then he took a deep breath and opened the eternal treasure chest in front of him without hesitation. Activate Eternal Treasure Chest. Obtained Eternal Item, Eternal Furnace. This is... Looking at the Eternal Furnace from the Eternal Treasure Chest, Su Yang was full of questions. This was a furnace. Could it be that it was used to refine pills for him? He had thought that the Eternal Treasure Chest would give him something amazing. Unexpectedly, it was an ordinary furnace. However, to be able to say the word eternal, it might not be simple. Su Yang quickly calmed down. Perhaps this was really a treasure that could bring him unexpected surprises. Eternal Furnace. Type Eternal Item. Level Supreme Eternal. Effect Eternal Furnace. After killing a god-level target, you can devour the laws of the target into the Eternal Furnace and burn them. There is a chance to obtain an eternal characteristic. Hint: the stronger the god-level target is, the stronger the origin laws they possess. The higher the chance of obtaining the eternal characteristic after burning the eternal road. Able to devour laws and have a chance of obtaining an eternal characteristic. The more powerful a god is, the stronger the laws they possess, and the higher the chances of extracting the eternal characteristic. Not bad, it can be considered a treasure. The Eternal Treasure Chest has the word eternal. It can't be bad. Su Yang sighed. It seemed that he had underestimated this furnace. At the same time, Su Yang felt a little regretful. If he had obtained the furnace earlier, the Twilight Evil God and the Evil Eye Ruler's origin source laws wouldn't have been wasted. However, on second thought, there were still so many strong enemies in heaven, so there was no rush. Then Su Yang checked his attribute panel. Name: Su Yang. Talent: Infinite Growth, Forbidden Unique. Life Contract: Heart Slayer Weapon Spirit Blade. Level 101. Class: Immortal God. Health points: 100%. God's Body over 10, 0.01%. Divinity points: 1185. Chaos points: 110. Eternity: 0.01%. Laws: Destruction: 1%. Time: 0.1%. Space: 0.1%, death 0.1%, eternal life 0.1%, precognition 0.1%. Skills. Su Yang noticed that the attributes column had disappeared and was replaced by the body of a god. As for the divine body, it was only 0.01% now. The perfection of the divine body is definitely equivalent to my combat strength. Perhaps I can try to use my fortune to condense the body of a god to perfection. Su Yang whispered softly. He still had a lot of gold coins left. Money was a small matter to him. However, he soon frowned. Chapter 197, 197, Chapter 197. Counting the spoils of war, prepare to upgrade Heart Slayer. The body of a god can't use the ability of wealth. This was the first thing that Su Yang could not use since he had the fortune. How can I improve my divine body? Su Yang was puzzled. Then he checked the information about the god's body. God's body 10. Level Divine. Effect 1. Increase combat strength by 800% during combat. Effect 2. For every 10% increase in the perfection of the god's body, combat strength increases by 300%. Effect 3. Immune to all laws, regardless of the difference in strength. Hint: God's body requires divinity points to upgrade. It's no wonder that he would be killed if he broke through 10. It turns out that the effect of a god's body is so strong. When my divine body reaches 100%, will my combat strength increase by 36. This immunity to one's own laws is also extremely powerful. Even an eternal can't hurt me with the laws I've mastered. After reading the information about the body of a god, Su Yang was shocked. However, he was not surprised at all. After all, how could the body of the 10 gods that could attract the annihilation tribulation be ordinary? Then Su Yang casually waved his hand, and the 1185 godhood points on the information panel instantly became 185. Then he noticed the changes on the information panel. God's body over 10, 0.1%. 1,000 godhood points only increased my cohesion by 0.09%. Su Yang did not dare to use too much. Divinity points had always been his trump card, and it was extremely difficult to obtain. Now, in order to upgrade his divine body, he had spent 1,000 godhood points all at once. How could he not feel heartache? However, since I've already advanced to become an undying god, my godhood points will recover on their own. It's fine. Su Yang comforted himself, and then his eyes flashed as he thought. If I can't improve my god body with great wealth, then I should be able to increase my divinity points. I can finally spend all the gold coins I have. A faint smile appeared on Su Yang's face. To him, money was strength. If he couldn't use gold coins to exchange for strength, it would be really uncomfortable. As expected, while the gold coins were being consumed rapidly, the number of divinity points increased rapidly. Nearly 2 quadrillion gold coins were used up, and the number of divinity points on the information panel became 10,185. Su Yang's face darkened. Just now, 1,000 godhood points could be converted into 0.09% of a god's body. 10,000 godhood points could only be converted into 0.9% of a god's body. Su Yang waved his hand, and the information panel quickly changed. God's body over 10%. The entire family's wealth has increased by 10%. Not bad. My combat strength has increased by 300%. Looks like I have to find an opportunity to rob the glory bank again. Su Yang touched his chin, and once again had his eyes on Glory Bank. He had just become an undying god, yet he was able to increase the perfection of his god body by 10%. This was a pleasant surprise. One had to know that condensing a divine body was a long process. In the long history of heaven, there were many experts who couldn't reach perfection in their divine bodies. The perfection and quality of a god's body determined whether an immortal god was powerful or not. The body of a god was condensed by a level. When a level reached perfection, one could condense the body of a god and become a god. However, this kind of god who only grasped one kind of law had very low potential and combat strength. Of course, it also depended on the level of the god's body. If it was a god's body condensed from top-notch laws such as time and space, even if one became a god in one level, their potential and combat strength would not be bad. The more levels one condensed a god's body, the higher the quality of the level, and the greater their potential and combat strength after becoming a god. Su Yang's divine body was condensed from more than 10 levels, and the quality of the levels was also very high. Therefore, the divine body that he had achieved could allow him to fight against those of a higher realm. The increase in his combat strength in the perfected state could reach 3,600%. The bodies of other gods were mostly condensed from 1 or 2 units. Such a divine body, in its perfect state, could at most increase his combat strength by 300%. It was even more impossible for him to be immune to the laws he had already grasped. Now that the body of a god could no longer go any further, Su Yang turned his attention to the chaos point. I also obtained a skill from the Twilight Evil God. Su Yang looked at the skill curiously. Chaos Art. Level Spatial. Effect 1. Directly use one chaos point to increase the perfection of the divine body by 0.2%. Effect 2. Use it to strengthen equipment and items below eternal, increasing equipment level by 100%. Effect 3. Consumes one chaos point to change skill restrictions. Effect lasts for 1 day. Effect 4. By fusing with the eternal characteristic, the chaos divine body can be condensed faster. Very strong. After reading the introduction of the chaos art, Su Yang could not help but sigh. He did not expect to be able to improve his divine body faster. Su Yang now had 110 chaos points. If he used all of them to improve his god's body, he could directly increase his perfection by 20%. However, when Su Yang saw the fourth effect, his eyes lit up. As a person with long-term vision, he would not only care about the immediate benefits and use all his chaos points to improve his god's body. After all, this thing was very precious. Combined with the secret technique he had just obtained, the effect was simply powerful. Moreover, the effect of this characteristic was much stronger than divinity points. Divinity points could only eliminate a portion of the usage requirements of a special skill, but chaos points could actually directly change the rules of the skill when combined with the chaos art. The effect could last for a day. Special skills like sword draw would no longer require divinity points. He could use his chaos points to change the limit of its power accumulation. In addition, avatars like the Destruction Titan and the Dragon Lord could also change their restrictions. If this sword draw is combined with the perfection of the god's body, then what level will my attack reach? Su Yang's face revealed a look of anticipation. The gains after this breakthrough were really too great. Every 10 levels, I can also obtain a transcendent comprehension. Why don't? Su Yang's expression changed. He remembered that this advancement could increase his level by 10 levels. Upgrade now. As if sensing Su Yang's thoughts, a notification from the heaven immediately appeared. It turns out that the level of the reward this time can be chosen. Let's put this reward at the back. That way, the benefits can be maximized. Su Yang calmed his thoughts and decided to leave this reward for later. After all, the further he leveled up, the more experience he needed. It was not worth it to use it now. Now it's time to count the spoils of war we obtained from the Twilight Evil God. As a true god, he shouldn't be too poor. Su Yang muttered to himself. He took out the space ring of the Twilight Evil God and opened it to check. Chapter 198, 198, Chapter 198. Full Harvest, Ascending to the Highest Helmsman. Divine Grade Sharp Sword. Level Divine. Effect 1. The Divine Grade Sword is invincible, with a 30% penetration effect. Effect 2. Absolute Silence. Every attack has a 30% chance to silence the target. During the silence, the target cannot use any skills. Effect 3. Berserk. Increases damage by 30% every 10 minutes. The longer the battle lasts, the stronger the increase. No upper limit. Thunder Blade. Level Divine. Effect 1. Additional sure kill skill, Thunder Slash. Summon powerful lightning to kill enemies. Effect 2. Use the Law of Thunder. Increase by 200%. Flaming Saber. Effect 1. Use the Law of Fire to gain a 300% increase. Effect 2. 30 seconds of invincibility. A god-tier sword equipment with powerful effects. Basically, there was no garbage effect. In addition to more than a dozen divine-tier weapons, Su Yang also found tens of billions of gold coins in the spatial ring. It seemed that the Twilight Evil God was not a poor god. He still had some family background. Heart Slayer, devour all of these. You should be able to advance to demigod level or even upgrade. After Su Yang checked the space ring, he gave all the weapons to Heart Slayer. During this period of time, he had made great progress, but time was tight. Instead, she neglected the growth of Heart Slayer, so she remained at the platinum stage. This time, the Twilight Evil God's wealth was just enough to help Heart Slayer level up. Thank you, brother. Heart Slayer took the interspatial ring and took out a divine weapon. The weapon in her hand was decaying at a speed visible to the naked eye. Soon, the divine artifact lost its luster. Bang! After a slight sound, the expression turned into powder. Then, Heart Slayer took out another weapon from his interspatial ring. In a short while, Heart Slayer had devoured and absorbed all the divine artifacts. Bang, bang, bang. At this moment, there was a knock on the door. Could it be Shangyuan Cheng? He knew about my advancement and came to congratulate me. A trace of doubt flashed across Su Yang's eyes. His villa had long been protected by the troops arranged by the Kingdom of Dragons. Perhaps the person outside the door was Shangyuan Cheng. Seeing this, Ling walked to the door and opened it. Shangyuan Cheng walked in with a few white-haired old men. Heavenly Son, these are the highest leaders of the Kingdom of Dragons. This is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3. Shangyuan Cheng looked at the elders with a respectful expression and introduced them to Su Yang one by one. Don't say number 1 or number. You're treating me like an outsider. Brother Heavenly Son, if you don't mind, you can call me Brother Zhao. We came uninvited. Did we disturb you? Right, just call me Old Brother Chin. Congratulations, Brother Heavenly Son, you've broken through 10 ranks. The leaders of the Kingdom of Dragons introduced themselves one by one, and their faces revealed friendly expressions. Why didn't you tell me beforehand that you've come from afar? I didn't prepare beforehand. If I didn't treat you well, I hope you won't take offense." Su Yang smiled faintly. He had a good impression of them, so he thought of them as brothers. One had to know that with Su Yang's current status, in any country on the Blue Star, those leaders had to be respectful to him. After all, he was also the son of the kingdom of dragons. "Have some tea." Su Yang made an inviting gesture, then sat at the table and drank alone. In his opinion, these people came here for another purpose other than congratulating him. "Brother Heavenly Son, we are older than you, so we will call you brother. We came here this time to make you one of the leaders of the kingdom of dragons. Of course, if you don't want to be disturbed by some troubles, you can just put on a name." Number one held his teacup and said intentionally or unintentionally. Shangyuan Cheng, who was standing at the side, looked envious. He was already a promising young man with the rank of lieutenant general. However, Su Yang was younger than him. As long as he nodded, he could directly become one of the leaders of the kingdom of dragons. However, Shangyuan Cheng was still very convinced by Su Yang. Whether it was the line of defense of fate outside the blue planet or breaking through 10 levels to condense the body of a god, each of them could be said to be earth-shattering. Su Yang did not answer immediately. He continued to drink his tea with a smile on his face. These few helmsmen looked very calm on the surface, but their hearts were extremely nervous. Even if Su Yang was only in name, it would be of great benefit to the kingdom of dragons. "Sure, but I'll make it clear in advance that I'm only in name," Su Yang said indifferently. He did not pursue power or status. However, the few leaders of the kingdom of dragons had always been expressing their goodwill. Moreover, they had always enjoyed the convenience they provided in their lives. "Since from now on, I'm also the leader of the kingdom of dragons, then I should express my gratitude. There are a few quasi-divine artifacts in here. If you take them back, they will be able to increase the overall strength of the rising kingdom of dragons." Su Yang took out a space ring and handed it to mission number one. Now that Heart Slayer had advanced to the demigod level, this demigod weapon was useless to him. He could just treat it as trash. Rather than having it useless in his hands, it was better to do him a favor. "This, how can that do? This is too valuable. Brother Heavenly Son." Even though he was the number one figure and had seen many storms, he was still somewhat incoherent at this moment. Chapter 199, 199, Chapter 199. Entering the arena of fate again. This was a semi-divine artifact. One had to know that the leader of the Blue Star rankings was only platinum grade. These few people might not even have platinum rank abandoned, let alone demigod rank. Su Yang's move shocked the top leaders of the kingdom of dragons. He used quasi-relics as soon as he made a move. It was as if quasi-relics were worthless and were everywhere. "Take it, these things are not valuable and I have no use for them," Su Yang said indifferently, not taking the quasi-relic seriously at all. After all, Heart Slayer was already at the divine level. These weapons were not even qualified to be used as experience points for Heart Slayer. "How about this? I thank Heavenly Sun Bear on behalf of the entire kingdom of dragons." Number one took the interspatial ring with trembling hands. It was not difficult to see the excitement in his heart at this moment. Su Yang was probably the only one on the entire blue planet who would say that a quasi-relic was worthless. Shangyuan Cheng's eyes shone with golden light as he looked at Su Yang with gratitude. He was the leader of the professionals of the kingdom of dragons. At least one of these quasi-relics would fall into his hands. Not long after, the leader of the Dragon Kingdom and Shangyuan Cheng left. They came this time to congratulate Su Yang on his advancement. In addition, it was mainly to give the qualification of the highest leader of the Kingdom of Dragons to Heavenly Son. Although it was only in name, it was only because he was unwilling to take power. However, Big Shot Heavenly Son was from the Kingdom of Dragons, so he was naturally bound to the identity of the Kingdom of Dragons. However, not long after they left, Shangyuan Cheng sent a message. Brother Heavenly Son, thank you very much for your gift. In addition, according to the reports from the front, there are a few foreign races from the world of light looking for you outside the Fate defense line. They want to talk to you. It seems like they want to congratulate you on your advancement. Su Yang was delighted. The world of light had come to congratulate him. They were rich people, so they might have brought a lot of gold coins. Coincidentally, Su Yang had already spent all his gold coins. It would be a waste not to take them. Su Yang replied, without hesitation, "Tell them that I'll go out to see them immediately. Tell them to wait for a moment." A moment later, Shangyuan Cheng sent another message. Brother Heavenly Son, be careful. Su Yang smiled and did not reply. He knew that this was Shangyuan Cheng's kindness. Whether it was because of personal friendship or something else, Su Yang was the strongest person on the blue planet. His safety was directly related to the safety of the entire blue planet. Outside the line of defense of fate, a true god saw Su Yang appear and quickly came up to him. Heavenly Son, I was sent by the Star Ruler to congratulate you. There are 2,000 trillion gold coins in this interspatial ring. There's also a secret plane teleportation scroll. Rumor has it that this mystic realm contains clues to eternity. Su Yang looked at the true god and couldn't help but feel amused. He reached out and took the interspatial ring. Please go back and tell the Star Ruler that I accept his kindness. In the future, I will thank him properly. Seeing Su Yang accept the space ring, he even showed a friendly expression. The real god said, "That's good, then I'll take my leave." As soon as he finished speaking, the true god of the world of light turned around and left. This Star Ruler is so foolish, he's dreaming. He wants me in the world of light. Do you think I don't know? Su Yang muttered to himself. Then he took out the Mystic Realm Scroll and checked the information. Fallen God Secret Realm Scroll. Type Scroll. Introduction. The mythical realm is full of danger. There are secrets that lead to eternity inside. The Stellar Ruler might not have good intentions. Hidden realms related to eternity are bound to be filled with danger. Su Yang's eyes flashed with a hint of understanding. He remembered the announcement in the world of light that there was a bounty on him. The world of light could only be an enemy, not a friend. However, Glory Bank is really rich. They sent another 2 quadrillion. Su Yang was even more determined to rob the glorious Horizon Bank next time. They had just been robbed of so much money, yet they were still able to take out 2 quadrillion gold coins as a congratulatory gift. Su Yang did not use it. He directly used his wealth to spend the 20 quadrillion gold coins. God's body over 20%. Seeing that the god's body had increased by another 10%, Su Yang nodded in satisfaction. The Wizard Ancestor has launched the battle of fate against you. You are affected by the arena of fate. You are about to enter the arena of fate dungeon. Su Yang, who was celebrating the breakthrough of the god's body, was stunned. Before he could react, the scene in front of him changed. In a daze, Su Yang was teleported to a vaguely familiar environment. In a flash of white light, Su Yang finally saw clearly that this was a vast arena of fate. A white light surrounded the newly formed arena of fate and pulled Su Yang directly into it. You have encountered an emergency. You have been teleported into the arena of fate. You have arrived at the arena of fate dungeon. You cannot leave the arena of fate dungeon. Only by killing all the existences in the arena of fate can you leave. You have been cursed by the Wizard Ancestor. Stamina and divinity points consumption rate has reached 200%. God's body has been activated. Curses received are ineffective. Cursed by the Lord of Death, all attacks reduced by 300%. God's body has been activated. Curses received are ineffective. The effect of a divine body that exceeds 10 is indeed powerful. These curses are ineffective against me. Who told me to comprehend the curse laws? If the ancestor of the sorcerer race knew, he would probably be furious. Su Yang smiled slightly. It was obvious that he had been schemed against by the Wizard Ancestor. However, the good news was that his divine body was extremely powerful, and all the curses were removed for him. A puny human, do you think you're the only one who can activate the arena of fate? Because of you, I paid a huge price to exchange for the core of the competitive secret realm, dungeon from the gold-seeking merchant. However, it was all worth it. Enjoy the gift the ancestor gave you. There are 100,000 people in the arena of fate. You will definitely die here. The immortal gods have a long lifespan. They are the foundation of heaven for so many years. In the wizarding world, the wizard patriarch sat on a high throne and whispered softly. Chapter 200, Chapter 200, Supreme Fairness appears. Rich reward. Su Yang looked at the sky beyond the white light. This was an unfamiliar planet, and the surroundings were dark. On this, he knew that the location of the arena of fate was not on the blue planet. After this duel of fate, he might have to engage in another life-and-death battle. Moreover, this duel of fate was initiated by the other party. All the rules were beneficial to the other party. He had to be careful. Su Yang changed his title to Gladiator of Fate. In the arena of fate, it could increase his luck by 1 to 10 points. However, he was looking forward to it. At the demigod level, he could kill true gods. Now that he had advanced to become a demigod, what level would his battle prowess reach? In particular, the combat strength of the divine body had increased by 1400%. With the addition of sword draw and the ability to increase his combat strength would definitely reach a terrifying level. Heavenly Sun, die. At this moment, about 100,000 demigods flew over from all directions and surrounded Su Yang. These demigods included the Magus race, the Machine race, the Charm Demon race, the Undead race, the Flame race. In short, basically all the races that had been enemies with Su Yang were here. I want to bet 100,000 yuan. After fighting with me for so long, don't they know the effect of my endless slaughter? Their goal is definitely not to increase my strength. Seeing the number of enemies, Su Yang suddenly understood. Just now, the curse of the Wizard Ancestor and the others had a consumption rate of 200%. There were also various negative curses that reduced attributes. They definitely wanted Su Yang to fight a protracted battle. In the end, he would die in battle because his stamina and godhood points were exhausted. After becoming an undying god, other than the increase in consumption, there were also divinity points. Su Yang smiled slightly. The Wizard Ancestor was probably going to miscalculate this time. Boundless luck. This duel of fate is being treated with supreme fairness. After completing the challenge, you will receive a reward. Chaos points plus 100, Law Perfection card plus 1. It seems that luck is very important no matter when or where. Su Yang sighed. This was originally an unfair duel, and now it was being treated with the utmost fairness. As long as they won, they would be able to obtain the highest fairness. After getting lucky, Su Yang changed to the supreme title. This title could reduce the damage he received by 30%. Facing 100,000 undying gods of the same level, Su Yang did not dare to be careless. At the same time, he knew that there were many pairs of eyes watching this place. He was prepared to hide his strength and pretend to be cursed. When he reached the outside world, he would kill them by surprise. A god was the first to come to Su Yang's side. Since you're the first to die, I'll grant you your wish. Su Yang's saber swept across, and the god was directly cut into two. You have obtained a layer of killing effect. You have obtained a layer of killing effect. Accumulated 100 layers of killing effect. Even if he did not use the skill of sword draw, the power of Su Yang's ordinary attacks was still amazing. He killed an inferior god with one slash. This scene made the Magus Patriarchs and the other powerhouses extremely happy. It seems like our curse is working. That's for sure. He should feel honored that we've joined forces to cast a curse on him. Humph, I'd like to see him run out of stamina and godhood points and get beaten to death. However, even if we cast the curse, the power of his attack is still astonishing. After all, he's an advanced mythical being with a godly body that's above 10. It's not surprising that he can have such combat strength under multiple curses. We can project the scene here into the thousands of worlds in heaven and let them see how Heavenly Son died, especially the people on the blue planet. That's a good suggestion, but I'm more concerned about you. After he dies, who will his body belong to? Many experts were communicating with each other, using their divine senses in the sky above the sorcerer clan. After a moment of silence, the Magus Patriarch spoke slowly. The core of the competitive dungeon cost me a lot of money. In addition, if Heavenly Son manages to escape, the Magus world will hate him the most. So, Heavenly Son corpse is the highest priority for the wizarding world. The old Magus did not say that he could have Heavenly Son's corpse. He only said that he had the highest priority. Thus, there was another period of silence. The entire void was silent. In the end, the experts nodded in confirmation. Sure. At the same time, the scene of the arena of fate was projected to the 10,000 worlds of heaven. Is that Heavenly Son? Didn't he just break through to become a demigod? He actually dares to challenge 100,000 experts of the same level. Even if he was a cultivator who broke through 10, he would still die here, right? You have to know that the power of 100,000 demigods is in existence, that even god-kings and rulers wouldn't dare to underestimate, much less Heavenly Son. Did you guys notice? The scene outside the arena is Wu Shiji. Even if Heavenly Son is not dead inside, what awaits him outside is death. Once Heavenly Son dies, the blue planet he. Other than the top experts, ordinary professionals, including many immortal gods, did not know that Su Yang could kill the Twilight Evil God in the demigod realm. Moreover, this matter had just happened, and the news had not yet begun to spread. Outside the Fate defense line of the blue planet, the Fate arena also appeared. Look, that's big shot Heavenly Son. There are 100,000 demigods around him. What does he want? Big Shot Heavenly Son is mighty. This card is going to kill 100,000 experts of the same level. Kill all these alien races. They're shouting every day that they want to invade the blue planet. Kill them. Compared to the 10,000 worlds in heaven, the professionals on Blue Planet were extremely confident in Su Yang. After all of Su Yang's slashes were too brilliant. Therefore, they had blind confidence in Su Yang. Brother Heavenly Son, you can do it. In the highest hall of the Dragon Kingdom, the leaders of the Dragon Kingdom and Shangyuan Cheng stared at the projection without blinking. Following that, the killing effect stacked. Su Yang gently waved his heart slash. The saber light flickered and formed a saber kai. In an instant, the dozen or so demigods that were attacking him were all killed. Killed fire race Undying God. Acquired skill, flame annihilation divine rank. Obtained 100 divinity points. The eternal furnace devoured the fire race's Undying God. Kill the Undying God of the wizard race. Acquired skill, evil seal divine rank. Obtained 100 divinity points. The eternal furnace devoured the sorcerer race's Undying God. With this wave of kills, Su Yang's taboo skill plundered a few god-level skills and some divinity points. Unfortunately, the eternal furnace didn't get the eternal characteristic. These demigods were treated as cannon fodder and had no value to begin with. Therefore, it was not surprising that the eternal furnace did not obtain the eternal characteristic. That's a wrap for this installment. Thank you all for watching and supporting Lord of the Stories. If you enjoyed this tale, please hit the like button, share it, and subscribe for more amazing stories. You can also explore other series updated daily in our playlists. Have a fantastic day and see you in the next episode.